the BCR Violet Femmes, number 12, Pixie Tricks. Number 189, Stepford Knife. Number 333 is Devlin. Number 37, Lucy Goosey. 404 is Chippies. Number 56, Purple Rain. Number 6, Chaotic K. 613, Axel Rolls. Number 910 is Sledge Glamour. And 911, Bow Fracture. Or maybe Bow Fracture. I guess it would depend on whether it's a boat or if it's an archery implement.
Maybe someone in the chat could tell us.
That would be great. We are about to line up to get things going. Jai, you want to jump in with the Black Hearts, and then we'll catch the action as it goes? Oh, I think Chai Kelsey is frozen, so perhaps we shall wait, and instead I will commentate on the game underway. We got number 707, Blitzkrieg Bomb, jamming for the North Brisbane Rollers. And perhaps that is not Lead Jammer. Lead Jammer will be the Violet Femmes, and I'll try and catch the number as we come around. I believe that's number 37, Lucy Goosey, with the star for the Violet Femmes. Picking up some points, calling off the jam. And we don't appear at this moment to have scoreboard feed. I'm sure they'll be working on that. We do, however, have some excellent footage of the Big Ass Fans, which is the top quality large venue fan company in the world, I'm sure.
I'm just wondering if BCR called it off and had a 0-0 because the other team was out in front. So I'm reluctant to put down the score. I wish we did have a scoreboard over there.
Could be. But Bobby Narco, you will be on top of it.
I'm doing my best.
All right, in the light blue NBR Blackhearts, I'm looking, I think that might be Ellie, number 32, with the star. And now we will await for a little buffering. I've seen a score coming in from Goose, NBR 0, BCR 2 on that. And I also see star in hand on the Blackhearts side. And a penalty already called, but your Violet Femmes lead jammer and through for initial points. And I think we also now have our first star pass of the game as the pivot holding the star in hand is out of the pack. Did not catch the number on the jammer as they rolled on past, but I do see more points up and a call off on the jam. We will hold for our updated score, thanks to the wonderful world of Discord, and we'll also hold up for hopefully Chai to be able to reconnect. Hey, the WFTDA has published some new COVID-19 safety guidelines for leagues returning to play. Check them out at community.wftda.org. Guidelines are being updated frequently in response to changing conditions and regional guidelines, so go check out as often as you can.
Hats off to you, Scott Chicken, for running solo on this so far. I'm doing my best tracking stats. I'll try and chime in where I can.
That is quite all right. And thank you.
That's nice because
Senor
I am
Narco.
back.
Hey, Chai's back. Yay!
Hey, all right.
Yay, technology.
I know.
Someone give me the jammers for round 3.
I believe this is Chaotic K, I think that's a 6 that I'm seeing. Oh, but maybe it's an 8. Hard to tell at this angle. It's an 8, and I don't see an 8 on my list. So now I have no idea who's jamming for the BCR Violet Femmes.
Well, either way, blue team is holding that jammer back in the back of the pack there.
That they are. Your Blackhearts from North Brisbane Rollers are lead jammer. First lead of the...
Blackhearts in blue.
Yes.
Femmes in black. Got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I believe this was the first Blackhearts lead jam of the game. However, could be incorrect.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Although it looks like she just put the star back on, so maybe she's not lead.
Well, that was the Blackhearts, or the Violet Femmes. Violet Femmes, rather.
Oh man, that's gonna mess
me
up.
having a team with black in the name that's wearing the blue jerseys, very tricksy.
Know.
Anybody get the BCR jammers number?
I did not.
All right, that's okay. Let's do the next round.
All right,
Looks
next
like
up
the
will be
Blackhearts 707. Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
No, that I was going to say the exact same thing you did, so that's good.
There you go.
Yes, Blitzkrieg, and I believe that is going to be Lucy Goosey, number 37, again on the line for the Violet Femmes.
Rematch of Jam 1.
All right. And Lucy Goosey through first, lead jammer for the BCR Violet Femmes.
Meanwhile, the pack is stuck there in turn 2 as the Femmes jammer makes their way back to the pack. The other jammer has not gotten out yet, so no points for them.
carefully trapped across through all of the NSOs and referees on the other side. However, Loosey Goosey is through, does collect points, and finally we have a second star pass for the Blackhearts. As the pivot emerges, puts the helmet cover on. Oh, nice apex jump by your Blackhearts pivot turned jammer.
I'm going to ask somebody on the Twitch if they're also in the venue to start throwing me scores, because we can't see the scoreboard.
Well, last update we had was BCR 10, NBR 0, but that was before. That was a couple of jams ago, I think.
I'll put that at the end of
And
jam
now it's
3.
now it's 18-0 BCR up. NBR apparently not picking up points on that that apex jump. We've got number 32 Ellie jamming for the Blackhearts, and is that Sledge Glamour? Maybe is that a 9-10 on the Violet Femmes jammer? Could well be. In either case, Blackhearts with the lead jammer for North Brisbane Rollers.
You're going to see some quick footwork on the Blackhearts jammer, trying to get out on the inside. They are getting denied, knocked down, and they're going to call that jam.
Looks like I saw a penalty coming in. Is that a track cut?
Maybe, but I think they were trying to call it off before they were assessed a cut.
Okay, yeah. No power jam. I see 2 jammers out there.
The old, I'm on my knees, but I'm not getting up. I'm just going to call it off. Always.
I'm yielding, I swear.
Exactly. Always valid.
Is that light blue 8? That ponytail's in the way, huh?
If it is, then that would be BB Skate, my favorite robot jammer of all.
Looks like lead again goes to the Femmes. BB Skate fighting the bunch. Looks like she's going to have to recycle there because she got... Oh, nope, going to the box. Did something. Did something. Something happened.
Somebody did something wrong. Always
so
good when
Power Jam.
Yes. Well, we can very, very clearly see that it's number 8 now.
What's can.
The Black Jammer's number?
And if only the Black Jammer, I think, is also number 8, which is not on the roster sheet that we have, but that's all right. It's another mystery jammer. Do have a score update, however. NBR Blackhearts now sitting at 9, at least as of the previous jam, BCR 18. We'll see if we get an update on that as it rolls. And we're back with Loosey Goosey again on the power start this time for the Brisbane City Rollers Violet Femmes.
I only like power starts if I'm getting offense off the line. Like, if you're not going to play offense off the line, like, what are you doing? And it looks like the Femmes are going to play offense.
Yes, it does. They're at least going to mix it up at the front.
Is this number 37 again?
This is indeed number 37 through and lead jammer.
3 for 3.
Into jam 7 with NBR sitting at 9. BCR now 26 points.
Number 37, 3 for 3 on the jammer line.
And also bouncing to the out, pushing 1 to beat, and does get around the outside to pick up the first pass. Run.
Got a star pass there at the back.
Yep,
right?
That is, I believe you are correct, sir.
22, 23.
Doesn't fit on the list. We'll see if it rolls back around. That does look like a 2-7 catchy would be that.
All right, that jam is going to end. Everyone is getting out of the box. That's nice.
Hooray.
That is nice. Start off with
nice.
With everyone on
the blocker,
track.
You could see that blocker in the camera. She was watching the penalty box timer real closely to see if she was going to let her go.
Yeah. This is a kind of nice setup where we're like right on top of the penalty box. You can see everybody come in and go out. With that jam, Violet Femmes take their lead up to 34-9. And the Blackhearts threw quickly to grab lead jammer. Did not catch the number. We'll see if we can on the way by, unless you caught it, Bobby.
I did not, but it's 3 in a row. It looks like 32 is light blue jammer.
That is 32 Ellie with lead jam for this, and calls off the jam after being knocked out of bounds, as the Violet Femmes were rolling up to the line to get some points.
See, rolling.
We'll now roll towards jam number 8.
That was jam number 8. We're heading into jam number 9.
Oh, jam number 9. Sorry, I was looking at the previous line. So NBR 9, BCR 34. No score change in that last jam.
Oh, our first scoreless.
Yes.
Fem's jammers are out again, getting that lead.
Another quick push through for our mystery number 8.
That's 4 in a row and 7 out of 9. Oh, wait, NBR has lead? No, NBR's not lead.
BCR has.
The Fems have lead.
Yep, 7 out of 9, 4 in a row.
And they are definitely not running jams long.
No, nobody is running jam long. It's all been just, I'm going to get some points and then I'm going to call it off.
No points.
I have 30 slots on my score sheet.
That's right.
This is the game of points denial. Looks like the Fems pivot is going to sit in the box because next jam. Not that their jammers seem to have needed too much help so far, but it is worth noting that they are at a pack disadvantage.
And cannot pass the star if they need to for 30 seconds or so.
And they don't need to because they are lead again.
Because they sent out Loosey Goosey, and Loosey Goosey gets lead all the time, it appears. At least in this game so far.
Every third jam coming out and getting lead.
Yeah.
Jams 1, 4, 7, and 10. More regular than a Dr. Pepper.
Fems, we're 2 blockers down for a nanosecond there, but the pivot returning to the track.
My screen is frozen. Anybody else?
As is mine. So it's
mine is
apparently
also frozen.
Australia is currently, they've taken lockdown to a new layer of just stopping time for a moment.
Did we see who the light blue jammer was in the last jam?
Did not. It went that quickly. I can see
32
that right now.
Heading back out there, yeah.
Ellie. Mm-hmm.
Ellie's been out. This is at least the 4th time that Ellie's been out there, and I have some holes on my scorecard, so it might even be more than that.
Shout out to the officiating crew, who are always made up of volunteers.
Amen to that.
All right, Ellie bumping left to right and bumped out of bounds both sides, and I see
Blackheart's jammer really trying to get that lead there, going on the outside. Are they going to make it? No, they're not. Getting pushed out by the Blackhearts, by the Fems blocker on the outside.
Scott, you saw that as a forearm. I saw it as a track. That either way, it's on 189, the pivot. Yeah, it's 30 seconds in the penalty box.
No one better be logging any penalties based on what we're saying on this broadcast, I will tell you that.
All right.
Do we have the uniform number?
Stepford Knife is the jammer. 189 Stepford Knife jamming for the Violet Fems is the lead and is rolling around and is finally clear with some points. And on a
jammer penalty
jam, as well as Ginger Snaps for the Blackhearts sitting in the penalty box. Maybe now.
So that must have been a start pass because 32 started out as the jammer for light blue. So there was start pass in there. Did you see the call? Did you see the penalty?
See the call, nor did I see the pass. No. Right now, I do, however, see Ginger Snap. I do see Ginger Snap standing, and I also have points rolled as the Violet Fems jammer comes around the corner. Now re-engaging the pack as the defense tightens up and calls it off just before Ginger Snaps can get to the pack.
So for the folks watching from home, how can we do this, you say? Remote Studio is how we do this. You can broadcast any games without the expense and hassle of traditional streaming. The Remote Studio can get your games to a global audience with as little as a smartphone. I think tonight's is being broadcast via a laptop camera. No matter your location or budget, get streaming with Remote Studio. Contact broadcast at quadmedia.tv. Check out our Broadcasting for Beginners resources at wftda.tv. And this is also how you're able to get remote talent. So we actually don't have announcers on the ground in Australia, although I would personally love to be in Australia right now.
Right.
I'm in Denver, Colorado, in the United States. Scott is in Seattle, and we have Bobby producing from New York City. So this is how we do it.
It is a cross the North American continent broadcast for our friends halfway around the world. It's kind of nice because it's bright early morning there. I think, Bobby, you're at like 7, what is it now, 7:30 your time? And
7:30 in the evening.
my time. Yes, exactly.
We got a team timeout, and it's the team that's sitting to the right, but I don't know which team is sitting to the right of my screen. But it's a first stoppage of play in the game. So I'm just going to put a timeout, and I'm going to say NBR called it because they're down. But that's not official. That's my prognostication.
It's the Bobby Narco prognosticator.
Anybody know a score right now? Anybody update a score for us?
Latest score we had was North Brisbane Blackhearts 14 and the BCR Violet Femmes 48. The team timeout was, in fact, to the NBR Blackhearts.
They're first.
Yes, and we will now regroup. I did check with our eyes on the ground about who number 8 was, and their answer was, I don't know. So that's maybe we'll get it at halftime. We'll find out.
So this was lining up to be a power start before the timeout, but it looks like they're putting both jammers out there now.
Aha. Sneaky.
That's black number 8 back out there.
It is, and we have lead jammer coming to the NBR Blackhearts and a power jam as well. Hey, that's a number 6. That's Chaotic K. So maybe I was reading it as an 8, but now that they're in the penalty box, I can tell it's a 6. The joys of my video screen, which is apparently not as clear as I would like. I think that's
a Femmes jammer penalty is finally going to give the Blackhearts a moment to score in this game. They have not been able to score for some time.
Oh, but their jammer goes in.
The jammer penalty is going to change that.
Yep, as Blitzkrieg Bomb went through and got called just as they were leaving the pack. And now,
our first 2-minute jam of the game. The third jammer penalty of the game for NBR. The first jammer penalty of the game for BCR. 7:07 should be nearly done with the penalty now. Should be a truncated penalty. There we go.
Indeed, it was. And standing in the box as number 6 Chaotic K in on the scoring pass, pushing towards the front, trying to get past the tripod. But NBR Blackhearts doing a great job of holding things up at the front, as the Violet Femmes are doing a fine job of holding things up at the back, as the back sort of splitting apart.
For folks watching at home, it looks like since both jammers have gotten a penalty or been to the box, this jam is going to go the whole 2 minutes.
It is indeed, and with no clock, who knows how long that could be?
No clock. It could be 5 minutes. 5-minute jam.
The jam timer knows. The jam timer knows.
There's a clock somewhere, just not one that I can see. Yes.
So this means both jammers just need to do their best to get as many points as possible. I do see on the Twitch stream, heyo, it's Mark. Hey, Mark.
That lead by North Brisbane breaks up a string of 6 leads in a row that the Violet Femmes had been on. And that is number 37 heading out there for the black team, and number 8 heading out there for the light blue team.
Yes, and we are now at 22:55 with the BCR Violet Femmes still in the lead. Excellent. And once again, we've got number 8, BB Skate, I believe, out to jam for the Blackhearts, and that's number 37, Lucy Goosey, with the star for the Violet Femmes. Lucy Goosey, as we mentioned a little earlier in the jam, is 100% lead jammer and an easy pass around the outside to continue that 100%.
That's 5 for 5 now. 5 for 5.
Yes. BB Skate now, jammer cap in hand, looking for the pass. Maybe. I do see the pivot kind of trying to.
Penalty.
Yes, pivot trying to get back to grab it, and I believe just did, as we have our maybe 3rd star pass, I think, for the Blackhearts.
5th star pass. Did you see the number?
I did not. However, they have executed well, and they are putting on pressure as they're continuing around. Lucy Goosey happy to just keep fighting through, although maybe getting called on a penalty now. Oh, wait, I see.
Yep. They are in the box, number 25.
The name of that Ginger Snaps, number 25. Yep.
Yep.
And
we're going to have a little switcheroo from the box. Blackhearts are going to have a chance to score again, although not too long of one, as the Femmes jammer is now going to be released.
Indeed, and Femmes Jammer number 37, different name on the jersey than we have on the roster sheet, so now I'm even more confused. But fortunately, all I can barely make out is the number, so we'll continue with Loosey Goosey until told otherwise.
Back-to-back 2-minute jams as we do both jammers in the penalty box for 2 jams in a row.
Yep, that's going to make the jammers a bit tired. Maybe we'll see a little more switching up of the jam rosters.
Could be.
We had been at a 5-2 scoring ratio, using 11 as the common denominator, but that's all going to change at the end of this jam.
Thank you, Bobby, for the always on spot, on point
11's timetables.
Yes. The Derby math savant.
So all right, looking at jam, we see 1 black heart in the box, a blocker. Looks like Caller.
Mm-hmm.
Going into jam 14. Goose is happily providing us with the score in the chat. We do see NBR now at 22 points, BCR at 55. 30-67. So Blackhearts have been able to take advantage of those jammer penalties that the Femmes have finally been committing. Still behind, but still the first half.
Right, and it's definitely helped with, I think, those couple of 2-minute jams where they were, it wasn't stopping right before you can get points. At least you're getting something as they're
we have our second timeout
to push forward.
I believe this timeout is being called by BCR by the way that the jam timer is pointing. So it's going to be their first team timeout. Got any sponsor reads maybe we could do during the timeout?
Well, yes, we do. I was going to suggest that you become a part of the Roller Derby conversations at the We FTDA Collective. Signing up is easy. You'll be able to connect with other folks, skaters, officials, announcers, and volunteers, all returning to Roller Derby from near and far. Find more information at community.wftda.org.
And we also have return to play updates. WFTDA is publishing new COVID safety guidelines for leagues returning to play. Check those out at community.wftda.org. The guidelines are being updated frequently in response to changing conditions and regional guidelines.
And of course, as always, follow us on Twitch so you'll be notified every time we go live. If you have an Amazon Prime, which I do, and this is how I'm getting it, you don't see any ads using your free Prime subscription. Ask in the Twitch chat. If you need help linking your account to your Prime account, you get that 1 free subscription. And if you subscribe to the WFTDA Twitch channel, you'll know the next time the remote studio goes up. We've had, this is what, Chai, you and I have done, we've done at least one other game from New Zealand, I think, earlier. And there was this same QRDL had a tournament earlier this year as they're doing their rounds of play. This is the officially 4th, but actually 2nd, since the 2nd and 3rd were canceled. But it's been kind of fun watching Derby from around the world.
Looks like we're back. We see two skaters in the box, 1 from each team. Packs are a little short. Jammers are going to be trying their hardest. We're going to see another Femmes blocker head to the box there. This is going to allow the Blackhearts to finally get a nice lead jam, just as their 4th blocker returns to the track.
Indeed.
I think the lead went to blue. The lead went to the Blackhearts are in blue.
Blitzkrieg Bomb is of the Blackhearts. The Blackhearts confusing us all by wearing blue shirts.
She's lead jammer the last 2 times she's been out there.
Excellent. And also able to call off the jam. We'll see how the scoring updates after that. It is now NBR 33, BCR 70. We will reset. Ooh, 5. I heard the 5 seconds that time. Excellent projection.
Love a nice loud jam timer.
Very important. So that is number 6, Chaotic K, jamming for the Violet Femmes again. I didn't see if I can catch the
32 is blue.
Yes.
32
versus
we 6.
Are seeing that Femmes jammer in the box. Could not see the call, but that does mean BCR is picking up lead jammer.
And
so
power
maybe that
jam as well.
Early energy the Femmes had wearing off a little bit.
And only 2 blockers on the track at the time for the Blackhearts, so playing a little passive offense, not rushing forward to provide any assist. Now comes the wave. See if this can break their jammer free as the Violet Femmes Jammer Chaotic K standing in the penalty box, about to be released.
And you see the Blackhearts blocker there try to prevent the Femmes blocker from running their jammer back very far, so that's nice when they're paying attention. They're just trying to see if their blocker could push their jammer could push the other blockers out of play, but I think a little help's better than no help as a jammer.
It certainly can be. Chaotic K is through the pack and or through on her initial pass and now coming through for points as the jam is called off. Roughly 10 minutes to go in the half, according to our on the site on the spot Cub reporter Goose. I say just running the event, but whatever.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Goose.
we'll even type things into our.
Is going to be North Brisbane Rollers 37 to Brisbane City Rollers 71.
So a 4-1 differential there.
Yeah, not too bad.
And 2-1 in the score, roughly. Blackhearts have two leads in a row. Let's see if they can continue.
Yes, let's. BB Skate out with the star for the Blackhearts, and Bobby Narco curses them immediately as the Violet Femmes picking up lead.
And that jammer is 6 for 6 on the jammer line.
Exactly. Lucy Goosey rolling around in once again.
Blocking with the head. No, Star Pass was indicated. Star Pass was indicated. We got a blue Star Pass.
Yes, we do, and that is going to, I believe, 742 Helen Hunts, who will not get back in time for points before the jam is called off.
Who passed the star? Who was the initial jammer for
that was
BB?
BB Skate.
Give me a number.
Number 8. Number 8. BB Skate.
Beautiful. I like it when they
jam
rhyme.
for the. Next up to jam for the Blackhearts, number 707 Blitzkrieg Bomb. But I believe I'm hearing another timeout.
Yeah, loud and clear.
We shall see when the hands start to move.
Which direction they point
There
to.
we go. Once again, pointing to, I think we'd said that the Violet Femmes were to the left of the penalty box. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it looks like they're pointing at the penalty box now.
All right, penalty box is called off the timeout. All right. Sure, you're allowed. Hey, maybe you've seen the beginning skater program, This is Roller Derby. If you have questions on where and how to start, make sure you join the skating education and training community at We-FTDA. We'll be discussing your questions, adding resources, and linking to more information about the skating curriculum, skating and education training at community.wftda.org. I do see that our little bot has dropped in the how to link your Prime account to this to Twitch. In case you need any help, just head to the Twitch chat and you can read that up. And also feel free to, Twitch chat at us. We do have a screen up on one of them, at least for me, one of the many screens that I'm looking at.
I see Jonesy in the chat. Jonesy79NZ joining us in the chat. Looks like we're about to get underway back on the flat track.
Jonesy is actually going to call the next game. So
yes.
I'm glad you're in the chat too. All right, here we go. We do see a nice bad fall from one of the Blackheart blockers there, but they are up and going. Lead has
707 is lead jam
is
3
going to be
times. It's third time in a row she's got lead. The last 3 times she's been out there, she's got lead.
All right, and that lead then called off as the Blackhearts had gotten through and gotten some points. We believe the score at the beginning of that jam, 37-75. That was, in fact, the PCR Violet Femmes timeout.
A true 2-to-1 ratio, almost.
And now 38-75 as NBR picking up one little point during that last jam. Sending back out for the Violet Femmes, number 6, Chaotic K, through and lead jammer as your Blackhearts jammer's number didn't catch, but Will on the pass is also through, took the star off momentarily, now putting it back on the hat. As Chaotic K bumps into the line, and that is going to be a back block. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
And off to the penalty box goes Chaotic K as number 32, Ellie, with the star for the NBR
Our third
Blackhearts.
2-minute jam of the game.
And Ellie looking left to right, trying to find room as the pack at a standstill. Violet Femmes holding well with the 3 to 4 wall, and then good adjustment to slide back and forth to close off the outside line and then back to the inside. As the power jam coming to a close.
Blackheart's waiting for that jammer to come back instead of playing any offense at all.
Mm-hmm.
But the Femmes jammers, you got to prepare for them. But when you have the power, if you have the time to help out your jammer and get some points, you should do that. We are going to see that Femmes jammer get out of the pack.
Yep, I think we had 4 each.
Points.
Yep, 4 each as both jammers were clearly through, and now I'm seeing a penalty. Might be a, I think that's the pivot that's coming to the penalty box, because I do see the jammer still continuing. Yes.
Yep.
Pivot number 25, Ginger Snaps.
Oh, man. So that was the end of the jam, I think. Oh, no, there it is. They're still going over there.
It's just another penalty.
Now, I thought everyone's skating off because everybody's going to the box.
Yes, Blackhearts with an almost full pack in the box, 2 and 1, 2 blockers on the track, and that lets Chaotic K just run laps. And right, nice job closing the inside door there. No run back as only 2 blockers on the track. Who's going to run back?
Wow.
Blue Jammer was in the wrong
seat. Pivot released from we are going to see the blue pivot release from the box at the end of that jam, but the jammer is standing, so it's going to be a power jam for the Femmes, albeit a short one. And we are going to see them down pack advantage as well with only 3 blockers and more than 10 seconds for that blocker in the box.
I wonder if the blue jammer had time added because they spent so much of the penalty in the wrong jammer seat.
Unknown.
We shall find out.
The score is NBR 47 to BCR 90. Again, another very fast lead for the Femmes. We do see that jammer released, and they're going to be working very hard to get out as fast as possible so they can score some points. Very tough 3-wall. While the
37 is still perfect from the line.
While the Femmes pivot maintains that pack definition right there.
Indeed, now star in hand for your jammer number 32, Ellie, and does pass it off to the pivot. So we have our, 95th star pass by the NBR Blackhearts. They're using it well.
Whatever else is happening, they're having some very, very good fast star passes.
Yes.
It's the 7th star pass. Did you catch the number?
Nope, I did not.
Nope. It's their 7th and their
I thought it was the 97th.
In the last 8. It felt like it. I'll tell you that. I'll give you that.
Exactly. They are locking it down. Current score, NBR 47, BCR getting 8 points on that jam, taking them to 98. Not quite at the century mark. We are, as I mentioned earlier, under 10 minutes to go in the period, and another timeout being called. As we take a look at the COVID-19 Recovery Fund. To help rebuild our community and our sport, the WFTDA has established the WFTDA COVID-19 Recovery Fund. This fund will provide micro grants to leagues and other roller derby organizations to help support our community in their post-COVID-19 roller derby recovery. If you want to find out how to apply and also to find out if you're eligible, head to community.wftda.org.
We have Moose Def and Roller Derby Streaming NZ in the Twitch chat. Like to say hi to them.
Hey, Moose Def. Back at you. Is this an official review? But it is official review for NBR as the Blackhearts looking for something. Might have to do with that power jam. We don't know.
If their jammer comes back out of the box, you'll see. Oh, we can get that star pass number. Oh no, that's a blocker. Never mind.
That is not the pivot. We'll never know. You will always have that black mark in your stats book.
It's a question mark. I just put question marks when I don't know the answer.
Giant question mark. We will see Blitzkrieg Bomb number 707 jamming for the Blackhearts in this upcoming jam.
Don't want to jinx 707, but 3 for 3 the last time 707 has donned the star.
All right, I think that's 910 Sledge Glamour jamming for the Violet Femmes, and Sledge Glamour is out. You did indeed jinx things up. And a star pass, but an illegal star pass, or something happened. I think penalty called on the pivot prior to the star pass. So we will see our original Blackhearts jammer donning the star back up as Blitzkrieg Bomb around the pack and now back engaged. However, our Sledge Glamour through with points now on a second scoring pass, and Blitzkrieg Bomb also very quickly through as all of a sudden the standstill defensive efforts sort of took a break there for a couple of laps.
3 leads in a row
just now
for
joining
BCR.
us in the chat, you're watching the Queensland Roller Derby Leagues mini tournament, round 4. Right now we have the BCR Violet Femmes and the North Brisbane Rollers Blackhearts in blue. Femmes are in black.
And jam coming to a close. We shall wait for the score update, but for a moment, and I will now put my announcer curse on things. Oh, see, I was about to say the penalty box was empty, and then someone came and sat down immediately. So that's not my fault. That penalty had clearly been called before I made the comment.
Latency and everything.
Yes, current score, NBR Blackhearts 55, the BCR Violet Femmes 109. So, Bobby, once again, almost a double score.
So close.
But not quite.
So close.
And now we have an official timeout.
Official timeout. So teams have timeouts. Officials can also call timeouts, usually to resolve penalties, score questions, to tell the teams to knock certain things off.
Give the refs a chance to have a drink.
Yeah, right. Get a drink of water. So lots of, not too many game stoppages, but when we have them, they're usually for a good reason.
There's never an announcer timeout, official timeout. I think we should, when you're in venue, you should be allowed to call an official timeout just for, I don't know, dance.
Enjoy this jam. I need a break. No.
Exactly.
No, I think that's halftime.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, that.
Speaking of halftime, let's find out if we can get what the time remaining is. I'm going to guess.
Gotta be close. It's been 10 minutes for a long time.
It has been 10 minutes. There have been some timeouts, though, so that's why I'm like, I bet it's like 3:25. We'll see what comes back.
Maybe you did have a 2-minute jam in there.
Oh, good point. Well, we shall see.
Oh, yeah.
And while the officials discuss, I'm going to mention the Frogmouth collaboration. Frogmouth has partnered with the WFTDA to support the COVID-19 Recovery Fund, of which I spoke earlier. 10% of all sales of products from their special The Pack is Back WFTDA Return to Play collection will be donated to the Recovery Fund to help WFTDA community members recover from the pandemic. Visit their online store at frogmouthclothing.com.
All right, heading into Jam 21. We've got 1:08 remaining.
So I was way off. Clearly, my time sense not up to par.
That's not that far off.
We thought it had to be near the end. It's about a minute.
Yeah, that's okay.
Could be the final jam, but the way these teams have played, maybe not.
Hit on the outside of that jammer. 2 big hits, and then also now out. I thought it looked like a cut for a second there, but the refs didn't call anything like that. So lead for the Femmes it is. We see 2 Blackhearts blockers in the box. Ooh,
that's
big
4 in a
fall
row
by
for the
that jammer
Femmes.
again. Very, very fancy footwork. She's going to pick up those points, but the Blackhearts jammer is finally out now, also on a scoring pass.
That is number 6, Chaotic K, jamming for the Violet Femmes, and I think that's BB Skate number 8, jamming for the Blackhearts. Jam
you are correct.
Called. We shall see if we also get to halftime or if someone's going to call a timeout because they want that one extra jam. Both teams with 1 blocker in the penalty box currently.
Will
they get to continue in the backs?
Looks like the score is going to be 113 for BCR and 55 for NBR, the Blackhearts.
And I believe that is halftime because otherwise you wouldn't have skaters leaving the penalty box. That would probably just be more penalties.
Good.
All right, so we are.
Point.
Yes, we are at halftime of our first of 4 games tonight. think, Chai, you kind of outlined the evening ahead earlier. We've got, after this game, we've got the BCR Smashing Pumpkins taking on the, wait, I missed what card was. The Coastal Assassins Roller Derby. Katanas. That will be followed by BCR again sending out their Banshees against Sun State. And finally, the Coastal Assassins Ninja Stars against a mashup team of a couple of teams that I didn't catch that note because that changed. We got Tweed Valley Rollers and
East Coast. Tweed Valley, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There we go. So you're in for, what I'm saying is you're in for a whole evening of roller derby, or morning, or afternoon, or middle of the night, wherever you are, and whatever it is.
Thanks for joining us. Come on back in about 10 minutes, and we'll have some statistical analysis and the second half of this first game.
And we're back.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, how about it? So looks like the second half is going to start with a blocker in the box. There was a really long penalty for one of the jammers there. We'll talk a little bit about that. That was an illegal star pass. You'll notice that the jammer's been passing the star to their pivot, the stripe helmet. You have to do it a certain way or it's not allowed. And so it looks like the jammer was assessed a penalty, then tried to pass the star, which is a big no-no.
Not allowed to do that. It's not okay.
Not allowed to do that. So this first jam's going to end. We are seeing a Femmes blocker still in the box. And we're going to grab that score from Goose momentarily.
Yes, at the end of the half, if I scroll up through our little Discord chat, the score was NBR 55 and the BCR Violet Femmes 113. Or actually, if I read this correctly, 1,113, but I think that's probably
1,000 points.
They got 1,000 bonus points somewhere in the last jam. But now we're back at the action, and it is number 6, Chaotic K, jamming again for BCR Violet Femmes, and again grabbing lead. But very closely on their heels is the jammer for the NBR Blackhearts, who is, I believe, number 32, Ellie. And Ellie will now dance around the outside and get forced out of bounds as the Violet Femmes with one blocker in the box and a long skate back by Chaotic
Although this jammer doesn't seem to care how much they've been pushed back. They just keep going and going, and they hit so hard.
Very true.
But Bobby, still carefully, because we're not seeing Kay get too many penalties either.
Not too many. No, and Bobby, you had some jammer stats. I think you said the last half Chaotic K was pretty close to perfect on jamming, correct? Number 6.
As far as my stats indicated, there were a couple, only one blank spot I see. That was jam 15 when number 32 got lead jam. But every other time I have 6 on my scorecard, lead jam is indicated. A couple times lost. A couple times went to the penalty box.
Went to the box, yes.
Fem jammer just run up the outside in this jam. Beautiful footwork.
A very nice move. And another star pass from BB Skate number 8 to the pivot for the NBR Blackhearts, but to no avail. As again, your Violet Femmes playing it short. As you noted this in the first half, they're very happy to grab those points and just call the jam off.
So in one way, the star passes are very successful and nice, and they are forcing the call off, but not before the Femmes call it before they can get any points. So unfortunately, they're not. They're just playing hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You're back in with number 37, Lucy Goosey, jamming for the Violet Femmes and sliding in safe to the outside lane. But not as lead jammer, as that is going to your NBR Blackhearts. This number I missed on the first run through, and that might be 707 Blitzkrieg Bomb.
Yep, sure is.
Thought I recognized the combination of ponytail and 3 dumpers.
Pushed the Femmes just to the inside long enough to get those points and get away. Oh, looks like that is going to be, oh man, cut track
penalty called. Just, she was out and looking to tap the hips, call off the jam, and sent to the
So the lead is lost. This is going to be a 2-minute jam. And 707 Miss Blitzkrieg Bomb is going to need to work very hard to get some points when she gets back on a track there.
Indeed, as Lucy Goosey jamming for the Violet Femmes, bumped to the infield, running back and now back through with some number of points. Probably 4, I'm guessing. Just an educated guess. We'll see.
Probably 4.
Yes. Lucy Goosey
Unless
now
there's
back.
a Australia rules derby that I don't know about.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah.
Lift to a drop kick to pick up the extra 2 points. And now caught in a time warp and then leaping ahead half a lap. Is back looking to the inside. Oh, not quite able to get around. No penalty called. Did knock
no
down
penalty,
a blocker.
but to knock down a blocker, yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it be like that. Ooh, another big fall.
Speaking of BB Skate taken down.
Looks like it's going to be a forearm for that blocker.
And that was number 12, I believe, is that blocker. And it was that Pixie Tricks. Sent to the penalty box. Jam called off. We'll see where we sit on the score line. We were at 59-117 going into that jam. And now 63 for, yeah.
Yep, 63. BCR 137.
24 minutes remaining in the game. That's a nice touch. And Ellie jamming for the North Brisbane Roller Blackhearts lead jammer. As he got number 6, Chaotic K.
Outside.
Yeah, one of Chaotic K's few jam starts that did not result in lead jam, but not one of few that has ended in a penalty. As I think K has been in the penalty box several times.
Oh, here we go.
Perhaps not approaching the foul out range, but has been more than 3, I think. Ellie now back engaged on the power jam.
Use this time.
Yes, indeed.
To make up that gap there. That is definitely a big lead BCR has now. And it's, I'd say never insurmountable in a half, but BCR is really going to have to put on the jets. And the brakes, depending on what you're playing.
Right. Yeah, so I think one scoring pass during the power jam as Chaotic K back in, and then returns immediately back to the penalty box, perhaps entering too close to the pack is the only thing I can think, right? She kind of went straight out and straight in. Well, whatever it is, the power jam continues, and Ellie continues to push at the front as...
That's 5 penalties as jammer for number 6.
All right. Well, that's definitely close to the limit. NBR blockers trying to break off a goat, but now just hanging to the back and waiting for the return of Chaotic K. As they've got a bipod at the back, now shifting to the tripod defense as K approaches and jam comes to a close. K may be able to get a couple of points. We'll see, but that was a solid 2-minute jam. 2-minute double penalty jam, no less. As Bo Fracture sitting still in the penalty box. NBR 75, the BCR Violet Femmes 130, staying at 137. So does that work out to 12 points on the jam? Not bad. 12-0 run.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, we got was that I'm did not catch the number on the jammer for the Violet Femmes, actually for either team, although I think that might be BB Skate
810
jamming for is it
810?
Maybe 910.
910.
910. Yeah, Sledge
but yes,
Glamour.
BB Skate, we would know that ponytail anywhere by now.
Exactly. The ponytail carefully covering up the 8.
Yes. So BB Skate is going to call off that jam. Maybe pick up some points, maybe not. We'll see when Goose tells us. Box clear. Love that for everyone.
Yes, they
each team with 3 lead jams this half.
Oh, that's good. What was the split in the first half?
It was 15-6 in favor of the Violet Femmes.
Kind of as expected. Sorry, Chai, I
And
cut
into
you
this
off. Go ahead.
jam, yeah, it's all right. North Brisbane Rollers are hanging out at 75. The Blackhearts and Brisbane City Rollers, the Violet Femmes, are hanging out at 137.
The Violet
we
Femmes
are going to see.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the Violet Femmes sending out Chaotic K again, who may or may not be sitting on 5 penalties. We shall see.
You know what, Scott? Some people just enjoy jamming so much, you just have to let them do it.
Just let it go. I mean, they're not playing for money, I don't think.
No,
then
I
again,
don't think so.
So all rules, who knows? It's halfway around the world from where I am. There may be different rules. As you said, Australian rules, roller derby might involve legal gambling. I don't honestly know. Either way, it involves Chaotic K scoring points, and as she's been doing all night long.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, I think that might be 210 collar jamming for the Blackhearts. Didn't quite catch the number. The jam comes to a close. And we will see what the latest score update. Now NBR at 80, but the BCR Violet Femmes stretching their lead out to 148 now. Well, 148 points, not the lead. I'll let Bobby do the math on the lead.
Lead is 68 points.
Thank you, sir.
And it's going to be another fast lead for the Femmes. They're doing really, really well at holding the BCR Blackhearts just enough so their jammers can get out. This is a strategy that I personally love as a jammer because I am not fast. But I can sure push my way through a pack really quickly. So if there's somebody holding everybody else back, I can just shove myself through and get that lead. So that the Femmes have been using to beautiful effect by sitting on top of that Blackheart pack.
Yes, indeed. That is Ellie with the star for the NBR Blackhearts, but not lead jammer. Lead jammer number 37, Lucy Goosey for the Brisbane City Rollers Violet Femmes. And Lucy Goosey through with more points. Under 20 minutes to go in the game.
And I see Ellie going into the packs with great footwork and speed, but it doesn't look like she's really committing to the path that she's taking. And so she often does get pushed to the outside or out of bounds by more confident blockers on the Femmes.
Yeah, and then I'm also noticing as coming out of the pack and just there's not, it's not like I've got to hurry to get back to the front. Like I don't know if she's been jamming a lot this evening, so could be starting to. I mean, it exhausts me watching it because I don't skate, so I know how tired
everybody's getting tired. Everyone's getting tired. We're gonna see. Hopefully not more jammer penalties, but we're gonna see a lot more blocker penalties as this goes on.
Yeah.
On both sides, whatever the score is, and folks get tired, especially if you're going every other. Yeah.
Right.
Lucy Goosey is 9 for 10 on the jammer line and has gone every third jam for BCR. Like clockwork.
Number 8, BB Skate, back out to jam for the NBR Blackhearts. And I think that might be Sledge Glamour again. Number 910 for the Violet Femmes.
Those Femmes jammers are doing very well at pushing apart the tripods and then taking advantage of the space that they leave to get those fast leads when the Blackhearts are in the front. And again, great strategy for them. They've got it kind of figured out. When the Blackhearts are in the front, they can push around that tripod till they break and then they go. Or if the Blackhearts are being held by their own team, in the back, they just push straight through and get that lead. They figured them out.
Yeah, and on the Blackheart side, again, another quick star pass from number 8, BB Skate, to number 27, Catchy, which wrapped around, was able to get free, and again, forced that call off. So now we sit with NBR Blackhearts at 84, the BCR Violet Femmes 160. And potentially new jammer for the Blackhearts. I can't tell if that was 616 or 626.
And lead.
And also lead. Oh, neither of those. Sorry, it's 707. I saw 3 and I thought it was a 6. Oh, Lordy. Blitzkrieg Bomb, not new with the jammer. She's jammed before.
Not sure she got any points, though. We got to pass those hips to get those points.
Yeah. Did stop things to prevent points. but
1 point.
Again, down. Yes, 1 point, 85, 160. And we're going to see Lucy.
See the Femmes. Femmes in the front of the pack. Watch them hold this Blackhearts pack and watch that jammer. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my shoe. All right, so Blackhearts have gotten in front. I know, right? They do actually push this Femmes jammer out. See, this is what happens when I start talking. How the opposite happens.
It's opposite day.
But like I said, Femmes is still the lead, taking advantage of the chaos they cause. And Femmes are lead jammer again.
Yes, and that is number 37, Lucy Goosey, who I think earlier Bobby said was 9 for 10. So now that would be what, 10 for 11, Bobby?
Yeah,
correct, sir.
So.
We do have a star pass, Blue.
Wait, what? No.
Do we?
Do we have a count on those? That's got to be at least 13.
10 by my count. 7 the first half,
10,
3 this half.
But did the star pass succeed? We see Blackhearts jammer or pivot with a star.
Yes, pushing slowly.
Pushing the top of that pack. Try and get in a last minute try from the Femmes pivot. Okay, yeah, star pass complete.
That was number 27, Catchy.
Scoring pass.
Catching that star.
But Femmes are going to call that jam before that pivot can score any points.
And that will take us to 85-169. And I want to mention merch. The WFTDA has merch available for you on our YouTube channel. So head over to YouTube and then click the store link on the YouTube channel, and you can see what's available. Just after you're done watching the game, or in a different tab. You don't want to disconnect Twitch just to go to YouTube. Not right now. Other than the frozen screen, but we shall see where that. I like that we're getting partial. At least I'm getting partial audio as that rolls through. That is BB Skate jamming for the North Brisbane Rollers Blackhearts, and I think that's number 910 Sledge Glamour, star for the Violet Femmes. 14-ish minutes to go as we sit at 85-169 going into this jam. And things get called to a close.
So maybe you've seen the Beginning Skater program. If you're watching this today and you're thinking this might be a thing you want to do, we have a Beginning Skater program called This Is Roller Derby. If you have questions on where and how to start, make sure you join the Skating Education and Training community at WeFTDA. We'll be discussing questions, adding resources, and linking to more information about the skating curriculum. Skate Education and Training at community.wftda.org. One of my favorite things that happened was that this 27 and 5 is no longer a requirement.
Yay! That always. I'm like, I get it, but really. So speaking of, yeah. I would never have been able to get it. There's just no way in God's green earth that was going to happen. Also want to mention insurance, especially to those of you watching from the United States and Canada. If you're getting back into Derby, make sure your WFTDA insurance coverage is up to date. Log in to the member portal to check your coverage status, or go to WFTDI.com for more information. Discounted insurance rates are still available to U.S.-based leagues and skaters, and Canadian leagues and skaters. You got a different link. Go to WFTDICanada.ca for the member benefits and information there. So once again, WFTDI.com for those in the U.S., WFTDICanada.ca for members in Canadian provinces.
And don't forget the WFTDA insurance does cover flat track, banked track, park skating, junior roller derby, and more. Don't forget to check out those options. We do come back to Kiana Kay, jamming for the Femmes again. And she's going to get a nice little assist on the outside from her pivot and get lead jammer for the Femmes, leaving 707 for the Blackhearts to take off that star and go for another star pass.
Yes, indeed. And I think looking for...
but maybe not.
No?
It was a fake.
The fake. fakie. No one expects the fakie after 10 straight star passes.
I know, right?
Perfectly timed.
Almost got a point.
Almost. Before this jam, it was 88 to 169. The Brisbane City Rollers taking that timeout moments ago. And we are now 88-171. As we're ticking down, we're under 14 minutes, probably closer to 12, maybe. That was a pretty quick jam. And now we got number 32, Ellie, back with the star, jamming against 37, Loosey Goosey, and Loosey Goosey out first, lead jammer, BCR Violet Femmes. As Ellie roughly a quarter lap behind. Defense is both setting up.
Blackheart's very focused on being ready for that jammer to hit, but maybe this late in the game they're getting a little tired. I saw Ellie just kind of run right through them.
Yeah, there was a little bit of extra space between some arms there that Lucy was able to just blast right through. And we reline up. BB Skate again, squaring off with Sledge Glamour, number 9-10 for the Violet Femmes, number 8 for the Blackhearts, for those of you scoring at home. Bobby Narco, have you put up a PDF home scoring kit yet? Because I think you probably should.
I do. There's actually one on YouTube you can watch that the Association of Flat Track Derby Announcers put out.
Perfect. Everyone needs to start scoring their roller derby at home just like people do for baseball, because I've never understood it in either case, but whatever. Whatever makes you happy.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but that's what I get for not watching other sports.
Exactly. BB Skate doesn't need to watch other sports. She's doing this one very well. Through first and lead jammer now coming in on the points and making it through nicely. Full half lap ahead. Yeah.
Now we need the Femmes jammer to get caught on that Blackhearts pack, but BB Skate's gonna call it. I think when you're down, when you're down big, go long. Mm-hmm. Go long. You have nothing to lose by trying to get some more points and relying on your defense.
As you said, you never know. You might get solid defensive stance. You might get a surprise jammer penalty.
Yeah.
In either case, a 4-0 run takes us to Blackhearts 92 and the Violet Femmes 174. As we come
they did hold them scoreless on that one.
They did, with that quick call off. But lead jammer for this jam going to Chaotic K, number 6 for the Violet Femmes, as the Femmes also losing a blocker to the penalty box. Now we're even at 3 apiece in the pack, and that's 707 Blitzkrieg Bomb with the star for the Blackhearts. Blackhearts wearing blue, just to confuse us. The Violet Femmes in black, with the kind of cool side panels. And the neat little hash work at the neck. I like those jerseys.
Okay. Blackheart's not lead, but it looks like they're going to get some more points anyway. We do see a nice, graceful fall from Chaotic K at the end there.
That was a quality accidental toe stop.
Yeah.
That is something I would do.
Quality save.
Yes. But the posing at the end makes it all okay.
Absolutely.
Both teams picking up 4 points, so we've got NBR 96, BCR Violet Femmes 178. And 9 minutes remaining in the game. Number 37, Loosey Goosey with the star for the Violet Femmes, but not lead jammer. So that's going to the Blackhearts, and I did not catch the number. Let's see, good run back on Loosey Goosey there. Well,
and good on the Blackhearts for going right to that line, making the Femmes jammer go right behind them.
Yes. It's number 32, Ellie with the star for the Blackhearts. Knocked to the ground, now back up, and the Violet Femmes getting a good trap at the back, but a little bit of a lane on the inside edge. Lets Ellie through. Loosey Goosey was already clear, and the jam will get called off.
Ellie is the only Blackheart jammer that's able to take lead away from Loosey Goosey. Done it twice.
Nice, and we're back to another familiar lineup with 9-10 Sledge Glamour jamming against number 8 BB Skate. 5 seconds announced. Penalty box surprisingly empty.
100 points for NBR Blackhearts, 178 for the Violet Femmes. We do see a little pack stuff happening there. You saw the Femmes blocker run back to form the pack in the back.
And the Blackhearts picking up a blocker penalty, so down to 3 to 4 disadvantage on their side. BB Skate finally able to get free. Jam called off.
But that jam is going to end. You did see the Femmes. The Blackheart blockers just aren't quite taking the Femmes all the way to the edge. And that's where their jammers are often getting out on those outside and inside lines because Blackheart blockers are just not taking them all the way over that line.
Gotta get all the way to the line.
Gotta follow through.
I'm assuming. That jam 4 points for BCR, taking them to 182. NBR still at 100. As Chaotic K
again? Somehow has not fouled out.
It's quite impressive, really.
I know, really.
She's been laying the hits on people.
Oh, big fall down there. Kay loses balance, is going to get the run back from the Blackhearts pivot. They choose to reform rather than draw back very far. Smart, probably, with Chaotic K there.
And also getting
4 is better than 1.
Right, and getting their final blocker back out of the box. So that was a handy lead jammer. Going to number 707 Blitzkrieg Bomb. As the Violet Femmes doing a good job lining up at the back and slowing Blitzkrieg Bomb down and minimizing the damage. As Blitzkrieg calling off the jam just before Chaotic K gets to the pack. Let's see where NBR ends up. They were at 100 going into the jam, and now
they gotta get more points. 101.
They got 1. Hey, 1
going
is
into
more
jam
than
20.
0.
Just a few minutes left in this game if we're at jam 20.
5 indeed minutes remaining.
5 minutes remaining.
Yeah. Ellie, number 32 with star for the Blackhearts. But it's number 37, Lucy Goosey, picking up lead jammer again for the BCR Violet Femmes.
Hey, Bobby, what's the lead percentage for the Femmes in this game?
Lead percentage? Well, let's see. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 26 out of 40. So, pretty good. 52 plus
over
13.
Not as much as I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Yeah,
the Blackhearts been getting that lead.
Yeah, the last 6 jams last 7 jams they alternated.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it felt like the first half was pretty more dominant lead by the Femmes, and then second half it's gotten a little closer.
Been a bit more even.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure the jammer penalties are not helping anybody.
Right.
Remarkably, the jammer penalties are 6 apiece. As disparate as the scores are, each team has sent their jammer to the penalty box 6 times.
105, 186. As we're coming close to the close of our first of 4 games tonight, and an easy run through the pack, and arms raised in triumph by the jammer for the Violet Femmes. Did not catch the number. That's how quick it was. Also on the far side of the track. And also, I think that's number 12. I think it's Pixie Tricks jamming for the first time, hence the raised hands in triumph. Like, I recognize the shirt.
Sometimes when you're blocking the whole game and then they throw you into jam, you're finally warm enough to jam, like really well.
Right.
You finally get all your joints warmed up so you can be, loosey-goosey.
Well,
Star
excellent
pass
work by
the very end there.
Oh, that's good. So now we're at least at 12, right? Maybe only 11. 4 more points.
Yep.
4 points picked up by Pixie Tricks. 190 to 105. And I'm thinking timeout called by the BCR Violet Femmes, which is good because I think I guess we got to mention. Yeah, I got to mention the YouTube channel. I mentioned earlier that that's where you could find out information about something else that I've now forgotten because I was reading it hours ago. minutes ago anyway. But all of our games are published to YouTube a few days later. So if you're enjoying this now, you're watching on Twitch, then you can go over to YouTube later and you can see it. And if you're one of those that's watching it now on YouTube, even though I'm talking about this now in the past, I'm getting very confused. Hit the thumbs up button to let us know that you like the show. It really does help. Our channel helps us bring you great Derby coverage from the remote studio because, you know, Bobby and Chai and I, we don't have actual roller derby going on in our areas.
We do not. We have non-contact practices happening in mine.
Exactly. I was going to say,
going into that, if you are a part of a roller derby league, you might want to check out the COVID-19 Recovery Fund to help rebuild our community and our sport. The WFTDA has established this fund to provide micro grants to leagues and other roller derby organizations to help support community in their post-COVID-19 roller derby recovery. Find out how to apply and if you're eligible at community.wftda.org.
Oh, and thank you for in the Twitch chat for pointing out it was the merch link. The merch link is on the YouTube page. It's not in my bio. If I had merch, it would be, but I don't. Probably should come up with some.
back to
everybody's doing like merch these days, right?
Yeah, right. Chaotic K is the lead jammer again. Just so you know.
All right, we need some Chaotic K merch.
That yeah, right. Exists. I think we need a shirt. Chaotic K never quits.
Does, however, call off the jam, as we did have another star pass because I see a pivot with a helmet cover on and one in the hand. So we got that going for us. As we were sitting at 105, 190 going into that jam. That was jam number 22. We shall see where we land on the score next. As whistle blows, skaters goes. That's 32. Ellie with the star for the Blackhearts, and I think 910 Sledge Glamour is jamming for the Violent Femmes. Ellie dancing around. Oh, just like 2 steps ahead. Sledge Glamour breaks free first and grabs lead jammer. Both teams 1 blocker in the penalty box, as you can see. Although the Blackhearts losing or getting their jammer or their blocker rather back as the penalty expired. Sledge Glamour slides all the way across the track and out of bounds. Now recycling back and back and back. Far side of the track. Final blocker released, bringing the Violet Femmes back to full as they get a power jam. Ellie sent to the penalty box. And we got to be getting pretty close to the end of this game, I'm thinking. So we were at 5 minutes a bit ago. Don't know how many jams.
Then.
Yeah. We do have a jam stoppage as 910 Sledge Glamour calls it off. Team's rolling back to the line, so it can't be quite out.
Well, you always want to set up just in case.
Right? 50 seconds, according to Goose.
It ain't over till it's really, really over. Till the GM timer tells you it's over.
Right. 196 to 105, the Violet Femmes commanding lead and sending out number 37, Lucy Goosey, to jam in the power start. As the Violet Femmes pack just content to hang out. Let Lucy Goosey do the work up front. Prepare to receive Ellie coming out of the penalty box.
So I did see that. I saw that one Femmes blocker fall, and I was like, ooh, that's no pack. And then sure enough, the ref calls it.
Nice.
I did actually get to ref a little junior scrimmage the other day, and it was so nice to watch Derby in front of me.
Yeah, mine's all been through the remote studio and watching Derby in lands afar, which has been great. But I think in person would be nice as well. Sure. All right, Lucy Goosey through. Ellie also coming through, unless Ellie passed off the star, but I couldn't tell on that pass.
Just a hunch, but I think the Femmes are going to run the clock out.
It certainly feels that way. I'm like, the game clock's got to be done, right? We must be just running on jam clock. It was only 50 seconds to start, so just let things roll as we round out game number 1 of our 4-game daytime in Australia, evening in the United States.
Here we go.
And with that tap of the hips, I think that will take us to a close.
I think that might be it.
Pretty certain.
Well, last jam, everybody was looking a little beat.
Yeah.
See Penny in the chat. Hey, Penny. Woo, Derby. You're just in time. There's 3 more games tonight. Today. This afternoon.
This morning. This evening. This overnight.
I love it.
Full time
I love
is
this because it's like you can't say good morning, good evening, and good night.
You can. It's all the same place and all the same time. All right, that is a wrap, Jai, on our first game. NBR, our final score, 111 for the NBR Blackhearts, and the Brisbane City Rollers Violet Femmes take the win, 208